I'll be charming for everyone.
Look, I got some ranch. I just on top of my computer, nothing fun.
You should get some handlebars going.
Was all there, and if any piece was wrong along the way, it was on us. Hey, just for the record, if my microphone sounds crappy, it's because I dipped it in barbecue sauce the other night.
Was it good?
Of course it does.
It smells good.
It smells good. Lick it.
I can tell you right now that I know Franchetti's microphone doesn't smell good. He just had that thing up in his mouth about 2 minutes ago.
It kind of reminds me of my cat.
That's not encouraging. I'm gonna leave that one alone because that's.
We might have to edit that part out if you don't leave it alone.
No, we're keeping that. Welcome to the Ark of the Covenant podcast, episode 4, where we get things a little crazy. All right, so I'm gonna set this stuff up. I gotta get going. You guys take care of it. I'll see you later.
Here we go again.
Yeah, you think?
No, I'm here for. What is he okay? Is he alive?
Had an escape route. I was waiting for that crap. You already did that crap to me once. Mike would be on his own.
Oh, jeez.
I plan on being lazy this time around.
Now you go for it. I'll take care of this one.
I heard that last time.
I have a.
All right.
Well, all right.
For this one, I wanted to tackle something a little bit. I think we're going to add some more people to this whole podcast thing. That way, if there's one or two of us that can't be here because of scheduling, I feel like 3 is necessary. 2 work.
I would think so.
2 work, but I think 3 is at least necessary. And I think the more we add, the better we are. And the 2 guys that I have in mind that I've already talked to you guys about, we're just going to have to keep one on a tight rope.
I prefer the word
/ edit. You know, with a prong collar.
Yeah, we will not be going live with said person.
Every time it goes off topic, just
Yeah. I have a couple dog shock collars.
Oh my god!
I have a prong collar for my dog. We'll add it. And if he's listening to this, and his wife's listening to this, he knows exactly we're talking about him. He knows.
They might have been at my house last night.
That's scary. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
He
was trying to.
What was that?
Are your ears still ringing?
Oh, there might still be a Jeep in my garage that's not done yet.
Jesus. It's back?
Oh, yeah. The oil cooler decided to exit the chat.
So it's not cooling.
Are mechanics allowed to talk about people's cars? Is there a doctor-patient thing, like, with mechanics? I know I was a mechanic, but I really didn't talk about people's trucks to other people, because that would be like, you'd be like,
Chippa.
yeah, Phillips
I think it would
trucks.
be Chippa.
It's
Car health information policy something.
Yeah.
Chip.
Isn't Chip like a kid program thing?
I mean, Lay's.
Chip?
Potato chips.
No, Chip was a program for kids.
Yeah.
It was like a food program or something. Yeah.
Franchetti, why are you so blurry?
What?
Why are you so blurry?
Your camera's like trying to autofocus. No, it probably your shitty ass reception there.
It could be.
I don't know.
I'm on the top of a mountain on the wrong side of the
You look like you're like AI or something.
Can you hear me okay though?
I can hear you great. I just can't see you.
That's all right.
You don't. It's okay. You don't need to look at me.
I'll be charming for everyone.
Well, speaking of children programs, I'm going to jump right into the news, and I have a really cool one. Okay, so everybody remembers the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse, right? Of course. Let me find. So, in wake of all that, Maryland started this internship program with local colleges to get engineers involved in order to kind of promote engineering for them to get their degrees and stuff. So they could be engineers for bridge work and structure and civil and mechanical and all that stuff. Well, now, in response to that, new grants have been made available through the Key Bridge Fund Focus on Welders of the Future. This is in Baltimore County. Francis Scott Key Bridge rebuild that began this year, not only costly venture, but one that reviewed the need for skilled trade workers, obviously. Oh, let me jump down in here. So, it kind of goes into a little bit of updates on the Key Bridge, which I have some insight on that. Prefabrication has already started for the Francis Scott Key Bridge. As a matter of fact, a lot of the girders have started to be delivered already. However, demolition has not been completed. Now, the new route has been finalized, and they are doing soil tests. Actually, they should be done the soil test this week to make sure they can put the piers in. So they did this whole internship program, and then now they're doing this grant program for welding. It's in conjunction with the Community College of Baltimore County's Dundalk campus. They already had a partnership with Earlbeck, and the money will allow for hands-on training at the facility as well as specialized training in underwater welding. So they're going to expand a little bit at the Dundalk campus. Yeah.
Do you know where Dundalk is? I actually do. I grew up
I used to work down that way.
I used to listen to 98 Rock from Baltimore, and they always used to talk about Dundalk. They had a song.
Rock, like with Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern.
Was Howard Stern on 98 Rock?
No, that was 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah, 98 Rock.
That was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I worked with a guy that made me listen to that every day.
Still a radio station. I know nobody listens to the radio, but...
I do. Maybe I'm just an old soul.
I do.
So ground is expected to be broken in late 2026 for a new 12,000 square foot welding training center in the footprint of the bridge at the Community College Dundalk campus. That includes underwater welding. There's one more thing I wanted to look at. The money comes from a Baltimore Community Foundation through the $16 million Maryland Baltimore Strong Key Bridge Fund, which has also provided direct aid after the collapse, resilience funding for businesses, and financial support. 95% of the CCBC students are also eligible for part or full tuition assistance made possible by the additional state funding. So I thought that was actually pretty cool in response to this whole incident to promote skilled trades, because obviously in the wake of all this, they started doing all this prep work and trying to get the bids out and do everything, that they kind of realized that there's not very many people that can afford this, to build this thing.
Yeah, really.
They don't have the time, they don't have the resources, whatever it is. So I thought that was
so what's the inconvenience right now that the bridge isn't there?
It's just
like how big of it?
It's going to take. I was reading some of the reports, and I was talking to some of the inspectors that are on that project, and the scheduled time for it to be completed is 2028, end of year. So some of the prefabrication is done, and they're expecting to be able to start the actual construction of the bridge 2026. So it'll take 2 years to kind of fully construct the thing. Honestly, that's kind of a short time frame. I think it'll actually be a little longer.
Yeah. I was thinking of like how important was it that the bridge was there? I mean, they're obviously doing something now.
It's for people that live in Baltimore, and I've traveled through Baltimore kind of recently. It's terrible right now. It's really bad. So yeah, there's my little news bit.
Awesome.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the news bit thing I looked up, as we've heard, is that one of the trends in welding schools that kind of, I don't have the article in front of me. I read it, so I'm going to summarize it. Is that okay, or do you want me to look the article back up? All right, or I'm just going to go with it. So anyway, so I've heard rumors that welding schools, they're going to start doing these overnight classes. And it kind of blew my mind that there'd even be a desire for it, being, like post-COVID. Like, let's face it, we can't go to Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. We can't, go get a cheeseburger from McDonald's at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. They shut all that down.
Okay. Those good times.
It was fun to watch all the unique people in their pajama pants at Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, they're starting these overnight welding classes at multiple schools around the country, and it's very fast catching on. Really? More and more are offering a course somewhere in the overnight hours because people want to change careers is the main reason they're offering it. And what they're saying is that in the welding field, that the companies that are high production are running shifts around the clock. So it's not uncommon for it and that it's catching on more and more. I'm blown away that, like, you don't see an electrician school or a plumbing school or, any other trade running a school in the middle of the night that I know of anyway. But it's popular enough and
No,
there's
and not
classes filling enough that there's welding starting to be offered at or not community college, but at different welding schools in the middle of the night now.
I'm surprised that
I
it's actually
definitely see
catching on like it is.
What was
I know. I
that?
definitely see a lot more. He's surprised at catching on as much as it is. I have seen like just normal like trade schools for high schools and stuff like that have actually got welding now in a lot of them. I've heard a couple of them that I was surprised to hear that they actually they had a welding program. But it's getting bigger and bigger. They
Yeah.
should put it
I mean,
out
I
there.
remember when I was in high school, my welding program consisted of a MIG welder, a stick welder, and a TIG welder, and you sit at that table and just figure it out. Go play.
You just did it.
Just did it. We had a little bit of help from our metal shop teacher, but he admitted that he was not the best welder. So he was a good fabricator. He could make just about anything, but as far as actually putting the metal together with molten metal, not the best.
That's funny because I know a lot of really good welders who cannot fabricate work worth
Me
anything.
too. I'm dealing with that right now. I
I
can't
can weld.
believe the
I can
amount of
weld like a
people that
god, but I can't
cannot.
read a damn tape measure.
I cannot believe the amount of people that come out here and want to build things, but then they can't read the. They don't know the difference between an eighth of an inch and 8 inches.
Hey, you're gonna have to edit this part out too.
No, I'm not
But
editing that part out. That's staying in. Can't believe, like, when I was learning how to pipe weld, it was beat into my head that the measurements had to be right, period. If they
right.
were wrong, there was no redo, especially in the
No, I
work
get
that I
that.
do. There's no redo.
Truth. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
All right. So, yeah, fabrication is very important.
Very important. I had someone recently, a young person who was trying to get in the welding field, and they're like, "I just need to know how to weld. I don't need to know how to fabricate."
You don't need to weld.
Well, yeah, but you gotta at least be able to do a fit up. You gotta be able to put something together and put it together correctly. You know what I mean? I'm not
That's
asking you to
right, man.
fabricate. I'm asking you to do a basic fit up. Put piece A with piece B and make them turn into piece C.
No, a fitter can do that. It's just fitter's job.
Yeah, yeah. There'll be somebody else who does that because I'm amazing.
I've had a lot of discussions with people over the years of the differences in welding depending on where you're going to weld at. Because, like, for instance, when I worked for the guy that I worked for most of my welding career, as far as actual welding, like, we did everything from start to finish. We literally went to, the metal yard, Fazios or whatever it was called, picked up the metal, put it on the ladder rack, brought it back, cut it into pieces, bent whatever, ground down whatever, beveled, welded, and then either painted or we didn't powder coat in house. We had to take it to a place to go get it powder coated. But I mean, start to finish and then going in and installing it was all there. And if any piece was wrong along the way, it was on us. Like there was no you know, there was
Yeah,
nobody else
yeah,
to blame.
I
yeah.
was the
You
same
gotta,
way
yeah.
working for a small company doing pipe work. We did everything. I cut my own pipe. I fit my own pipe. I weld my own pipe. Now, it did get to the point where I didn't do so much of that. I just welded. And then I got to the point where I didn't do so much of that. I just managed it. And then it got to the point where I didn't do so much of that. I just did it. And then it got to the point where I got tired of that and went back to welding. But yeah,
But I mean,
no,
we have different
you
people we've
still
met
gotta know how
along
to
the
do it.
way. You know, the one person that worked with us all for a little while there. Well, I think it was before your time, friend Teddy. But he literally all he did in the field was weld. Like he wouldn't try to untangle a machine when it was tangled up. He didn't do like he welded. If it went past the tip of the MIG gun, he wasn't touching it.
You see, and it used to be. There's a lot of places where it's like that, and there's probably still places that exist that like that. But at least in my experience that I've seen, there's not enough people to be able to just be a welder. It just doesn't exist anymore. You know, I've inspected multiple shops.
One person to do everything.
Yeah, I've inspected at multiple shops. A lot of them are very large shops with have 1,000 people working there, and the welders they're welding, they're fixing the machines when they go bad, they're fitting up their own pieces, they're grinding, they're doing it all. Maybe not every time. They do have fitters and tackers and all that stuff, but if they're shorthanded, welder's jumping in, and he better know how to do it because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say, that's not fit up right. Cut that apart.
Well, that's even like these guys and gals that want to go do underwater welding. You know, you have to understand. One, it depends on who you hook up with, because possibly if you're on a union job or something like that, you're probably going to be getting paid an astronomical amount the whole time you're there. But if you're on like just a non-union job and you're with a certain company that's doing something like this, what I understand is you're only an underwater welder when you're underwater. After that, you're a deckhand, and you're doing deckhand work, and you're getting paid as a deckhand. So yeah, you're for a while there, you're going to make a little bit of money, but it's not it's not all the same. It depends on where you're working. You know, I don't know that I would necessarily want to be a deckhand if I was a trained underwater welder. You know, but I guess it depends.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how that works in every company, but I do know of some companies that are like that. And even not even just underwater welders, even as fabricators of weld shops too. Yeah, you'll get paid as a welder when you're welding, but guess what? You got other shit to do too. You know, if you're an operator for the day, you're getting the operator pay. If you're a fitter for the day, you're getting the fitter pay. You know, and it's whatever the job needs. It's not necessarily like, I don't feel like doing that today. No, you don't get the option.
Oh no. So you know me, I can't keep on track of anything. So if you run around circles, will that camera follow you, and how fast does it move?
Ready?
Yep, let's do it. Ah!
You're like completely in the frame, man.
It's not that fast, but it will. I mean, it tracks me. It keeps up. I can juke it out though. Ready?
Mike, you have one of them too, don't you?
What was that?
Don't you have one of them, Mike?
No, mine's just here. On top of my computer, nothing fun. Tracks?
Mine's better than his.
Yeah, mine doesn't track. I gotta step up.
Yeah, that's just me grabbing a hold of my laptop and moving it with it.
Oh, you did pretty good.
Yeah,
I practice it. I don't have a lot to do on it. A lot of time on it.
Well, Dave, did you have any news articles to share?
Not necessarily news articles. I've been looking up new stuff. I'm starting to. These are great. You said I didn't have to do anything, so it would be charming. I was actually, I have been looking up a couple of things, but I want to get more in depth. I'm doing some research between different companies because right now I'm actually seeing that Miller is actually getting into a whole bunch of new crazy stuff, and I want to get some of that down and actually have a decent presentation for that in comparison to Lincoln and other upcoming companies. So I am working on something, but something I did this week is one thing I want to talk about, and I want to talk about possibly, if you let me, some common sense beginner shit. Because my job is kind of watching beginners, and there's things that they do on a regular basis that should be talked about, I think.
Okay.
Like little common sense stuff. Okay.
I'm on board.
The first thing I did that we should talk about, let me fix my camera because I don't feel right. All right. So today,
turn that tracking back on.
Last week I did this, which I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. What happened?
That is a flapper wheel, and it's actually this is the first time I've not had a Band-Aid on it, and now it's starting to like bleed again because it's pretty bad. So I was doing some small grinding work with a flapper wheel, just cleaning up some pieces, and I was doing multiple pieces, so I was getting fast and sloppy with it, and I started grinding one in my hand. I didn't have a glove on. And it grabbed a hold of it and went a big flapper went into my finger, and it didn't cut me. It took a chunk because it actually pushed all the meat up to the top. So, don't get comfortable with your tools. One, wear gloves. I should at least have some thin gloves, even some mechanics gloves on or something.
Wait, before we get too far, we should come up with a title for this section. There should be a section.
Yeah, Dave's Dumb Corner.
do better with Dave.
When Better Dave was not so better. Which I'm the worst. That's why I'm a spokesman for safety. I hate to say it because I was the worst. I've had my eye drilled out 3 times to get metal out of my eyes, and all it was is a matter of putting on safety glasses. You know what I mean? And this is over years and years and years of me being in the field and stuff. I do now because what is in the
Mike wears his all the time just so he can see.
There's like static going on in the background, like it's raining at someone's house or something.
Here, I'll mute him.
There
you go. Is that better?
It's Mike. Would that freaking air conditioner turn on behind you, Mike? Is that what happened? All right, you can unmute him so we can hear his nonsense.
Hi. There's people walking into my house.
Who are they? What are they?
Who are they? Let's see them.
It's it's Emerlyn and Danielle. I don't know if you want to see
them. Who are
them.
they?
They're running away. See, that's
all right.
The people
see you later.
Bye.
So yeah, I'm promoting safety because I've been the spokesperson for getting hurt at work. Well, not necessarily. I don't do it at work. Usually I do it in my own shop, which is worse. But yeah, and then look, Mike got it at work too.
What'd you do?
That was just quarter-inch sheet of metal, trying to stack
I leave
it
for
in
1
the rack.
month, and next thing you know, you guys are throwing metal at each other.
That's okay. I got to leave in an ambulance.
I wasn't even there. They called an ambulance for him, and then they left him there.
What?
True story.
He had no ride home. And what kills me? I'm the only one that thinks of this crap. I'm at work and I'm like, so who's gonna get Mike? How's Mike getting back here? Oh, I don't know. Oh, and Mike tells me, oh, my wife. What do you mean your wife came and got you? You live an hour away. Your wife drove an hour to come get you, to drive you to work and drive back home?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Oh, I was putting away metal in the rack, the sheets of metal, and you know how the 3/8 sheets are kind of heavy, so we gotta flip them to flip them into that rack. So I was flipping one on I hit my elbow, and it just stung for a second. So I thought nothing of it. Finished putting the metal away, picked up the band strap off the ground, walked it back to the scrap bin, walked to the front of the shop. Before I walked to the front of the shop, I felt something wet on my jacket. I had my welding jacket on, and looked down. My hand was covered in blood. So I walk up to the front, and the other person that was there, the other teacher, he was like, "Go wash it off, and I'll get some gauze and all." And when he looked at it, he's like, "You're gonna need some stitches. Let me go get the manager." So,
you guys.
Next thing I know, I'm headed to the hospital in an ambulance because I wasn't allowed to drive for company policy of some reason. So, whatever.
Take care of yourself.
Yep.
Would you like to describe the person in the ambulance that brought you there?
No.
I heard that guy had a funny hair.
Yeah. He had quite.
All right, so safety at work, safety in general. All right, what we do is dangerous. So things that I see beginner people doing all the time that bothers me. All right. First of all, when you see your weld going wrong, what's the first thing you would do?
Keep going.
Good answer.
Yes.
Good answer.
Yes, you're right. This is exactly what they do. They keep going. And now listen, I'm not trying to put people down. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to show people,
Rather than have a little to grind out, I'd rather have a lot.
Yeah. It's not going to fix it. It's not going to fix
itself. Get paid more, not less.
Yeah. Porosity doesn't suddenly oh, okay, shit's good now.
I can run right over it. I'm going to make the bubbles go away.
When people tell me that. I'll just run right over it. I'll get rid of that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. You can grind some more. All right. So first of all, when it's not right, it's not right. Stop, figure it out, grab a piece of scrap metal. I don't know why anyone welds before they have a little piece of scrap metal. Like in my shop, I collect rotors. I'll keep a car rotor, and I'll lay a bead on it and be like, all right, everything looks right. I'm ready to weld my piece. You know how many people I see go straight to the piece that they're welding, like, they start the machine up for the first time of the day. They don't, someone else has already been using the machine. And that's a lot of trust in the person before you, because when you're talking about people that are inexperienced, you don't know what's going on with that machine. They could have
Oh yeah.
aluminum wire going through the end and crumbling up in the end of it or something because they didn't realize they could put aluminum wire in it or some nonsense. But yeah, checking out your machine. The biggest thing that kills me is most of the time when I walk over to help someone with their machine, usually it's either a ground or they have the gas off or they have it on the wrong process. They're trying to. We had one student that was welding stick with a TIG pedal.
I remember that. Believe it or not, it actually works.
It actually looked
But
great.
it's
I don't
definitely
know
not
who
profitable.
came
No,
up
it
with
didn't.
that idea.
What?
Just inexperience, I guess.
Hey,
Did
I
you
know
do it
somebody
too?
that
Is that on
I
one of
knew
your?
somebody that
Is
might
that on
have
one of your
tried it
stupid
after they
videos?
heard about it.
I didn't mean
You
stupid
you
videos.
verified that it did work. Am I correct,
Oh,
friend
it works
Teddy?
great. Not only that, you set up the pulse settings with 7018. It looks like laying dimes.
Fred
I
Teddy's
was
new
amazed that it even
process.
worked.
Stick TIG.
Were you pulsing it?
Yeah.
Instead of whipping it, you just pulse it, and it's just like
No, I set the pulse up on the
yeah.
machine. And I just drug
First,
along. It was a little weird at first. I had to like slow down for the slag to get away because it's 7018, but it worked great.
Hey, I have a dual pulse MIG welder. You're gonna make a dual pulse stick welder?
I'm gonna talk to Yes Water about that.
what if? Yeah,
I'm gonna tell him,
Hey,
hey,
yeah.
if you're listening, come get me. We'll figure
So
it out.
So grounds, biggest thing, and I don't know why so many people don't understand, but ground clamps are meant to go as close to your piece as possible. And when it's on a different table, even though it's hooked to the same table, if there's any movable parts on that table or anything that is not part of that metal table, if it's bolted and latched and this and that, you cannot trust that it's going to go through there as a good ground. It might put a partial ground to it. And then I'll have ones come out and they're like, yeah, my piece is sticking to the table. I was like, because it's looking for a ground. It's getting hot. It can't connect. Take the mill scale off the back of your piece too, because it's not going to go jumping right through mill scale. Mill
Not
scale
easily.
is just like paint. So
And that arc strike that you create there, so in the job site, that burn that you create, that arc strike,
from
that's a
finding the ground,
defect.
yeah, yep,
That's a defect. In
that,
most codes, that's a cutout.
that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense.
At least in the
But
codes
I
that I
see it
work
all the
with
time.
pressure vessels, that is a cutout. Yeah, good ground's important.
Ground. Oh my God, that's the first thing I go for all the time. Just even I don't care what it is. I always check my ground because it's the easiest, quickest thing to check. Check your ground. Check the connection at the ground. Check the bolt that is bolted into the clamp or whatever. I check all of it. Um, yeah, and clean your pieces up right. Prep your stuff. But
clean your
I
freaking
fix
MIG
all the.
nozzle.
Yes.
Clean your
Oh
MIG
yeah,
nozzle. Oh my
clean
gosh.
your MIG nozzle. I hate seeing that too. I hate seeing that too. And don't put a stone grinder to a welding desk or a welding table. Get a
Yeah.
flap wheel. Clean your stuff up with a flap wheel because a
Keep it away from
grinding
your
wheel is just
fingers.
yeah. Keep
You keep it away from
those
your
flap
fingers.
wheels are they're
They're
nasty.
nasty. Yeah.
But yeah, and polarity. That's the biggest thing too. Like when guys are doing flux, I don't know how many guys I catch doing flux and they're just on the wrong polarity, or they're just it's like know what you're doing. Look at your machine.
Yeah. Most
Practice ahead of time.
self-shield wire is DC negative. So your ground is in the positive side.
Mm-hmm.
Most self-shield wire. Not all self-shield wire, but about 98% of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So
all dual shield wire is DC positive.
yes, yes.
There we go.
Trying to
Weld
think the other.
125.
Yeah, yeah. I think the
I
biggest
still remember it.
issue I have right now with the we'll say the younger welders or up and coming welders is that no one can follow directions. No one can read directions. No one can follow directions properly. I'll say there's 3 out of 15 most of the time that can follow directions. All right. Now we have certain instructions. Am I being nice?
You're being nice. I think one of the things, it's easier to train. I feel like it's easier to train somebody who's willing to follow and read directions than it is to take somebody who's a better welder and change their path or change their ways to get them to actually read directions or listen to directions.
Yeah, it's easier to create good habits than to break bad habits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well said.
But, and especially in welding, following a WPS, why we would have anyone at this point that can't follow a WPS is beyond me.
But you need to. Like, if you deviate from that weld procedure and you're caught, it's not a good time.
We're gonna get these younger guys and gals out there that are just gonna be like, I need to look at it. I know what to set my machine at. That kind of stuff. Those little egos. But following directions, and I actually have a horrible thing that I do when I get so frustrated with it. I have that little paper that they gave us in school that it was like a little activity where first thing it would say is, put your name up here, read all the directions before starting, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just a list of directions. And then, of course, the very last one is only do directions 1 and 2, or steps 1 and 2, which is put your name up there and read all the directions. Right? And I pulled that out.
That's a great exercise
on these people. And do you know how many people? Yeah, and I remember from school, because I had a teacher from school do that to me, our class, and you know who the idiot was in the class that wasn't reading directions and was dancing in the class and doing everything that the paper said to do like a complete moron. I'm a true believer that directions are very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Following directions. We have a lab of forging lab that actually comes with pictures to show you the colors of the metal, each step by step, and I mean it can't be, and I even go over said documents with these younger guys and gals, and they just can't get it. We gotta as parents, it should start at home. Show your kids how to read directions.
Like everything else.
Don't assume. When they're making mac and cheese, tell them to flip it over and read the directions. It might actually be better.
Yeah, don't forget to drain the water.
It's so funny that we're talking about this because I just got a very long text from a person that we all worked with, and he is teaching a class right now, talking about how he asked a young welder if he had everything correct because his welds were coming out horribly. And he walked over, and the welder had the machine completely set up.
I believe that. Like you can't ask.
That's not the first time.
Ask people.
Oh God!
Keep picking your nose with that thing.
I think it's humorous. We talked about mac and cheese. Mike did order. I told him I was grumpy. Mike said I was grumpy tonight, or today, or just in general. And
you're allowed to be grumpy. That's okay. I came back grumpy as shit.
He's like, you want me to bring you over some dinner? And I'm like, I don't want none of your mac and cheese, hot dog, casserole that you got to feed your baseball team at the house. Mike kind of started laughing. He's like, we did have hot dogs and mac and cheese tonight.
No, what's funny is that when I was in college, believe it or not, I had a roommate that I was sharing an apartment with up in Harrisburg. And he used to smoke more pot than anybody I ever knew in my life. Okay. So he used to come back blazed as hell, walk into the apartment and just do I don't know what. And he was terrible. Like, he didn't clean a single dish. There was a couple of times that I threw the dirty dishes into his sheet so he'd clean them. And the one time he came in and me and my girlfriend were there, who's my wife now, and he came in. And it was like 12 o'clock at night, and he walks in, you guys hungry? We're like, no, not really. Oh, we'll make some hamburger helper. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes back there, he starts making hamburger helper. We look into it, and I'm like, I'm like, man, that doesn't look right. This is the best stuff in the world, man. I swear to God. Okay. He sits down and starts eating. And goes, tastes a little funny. I said, you drain the water? Oh, no. The look on his face, like it was exactly like that. Like, oh no.
Yeah, that's going to be another
I'll
subject I'm
never
going to
forget
go on.
that.
I won't go on any rants today, but drug tests will be another rant that I go on.
God.
Oh
Why
yeah.
people don't have enough sense how to prepare themselves for a drug test. It's not, they're not asking a lot out of you. Yeah, I'm going to do that'll be my next Mr. Robinson's what burns my gears or whatever. What grinds my gears.
Do better with
I'm going to have
Dave.
a bitch. Yeah, yeah.
Grinding gears with Robinson. What
That's right,
grinds
man. I
his
think that's what I'm
gears?
going to do. I'm just going to get online and complain. I'm just going to be a charming Karen, male Karen online. And see
I
how
think
that
you would
works
be
out.
They
fantastic.
call that a Chad.
A Chad?
Is that what it's
You're,
called?
you'll be a Chad.
What the?
Run away.
I
Oh,
was
here
gonna
we
say,
go again.
Your camera tried to chase you.
Let me guess. You have extra kids there you have to put to bed.
That's part of the
We live
that's
a
part of
double
the
life.
agreement of getting the place.
I gotta put their kids.
He's like, I got.
All right.
It's a sweet
Well,
ukulele.
I think we should get on to the main event of the evening. What?
All right, yeah, the main event. Let's do this. I'm ready for this. All right, this is where I did my due diligence.
Did you? I'm
I
actually
don't have
really
to go.
excited for this. Okay.
Well, I'm sure you did better
I'm
than
really
me, but that's
excited for
just
this one
you.
because this has like been stewing around in my brain, and I think all three of us have completely different ideas, which is going to be awesome.
Awesome. And I'm
So
excited.
the idea of this is we took this on as a kind of a rig build challenge. And the idea is to what idea we would have to build our own mobile welding setup to start a business with. We were able to use any tools we want, go as crazy as we want, but the idea is for somebody who wants to get started in a business, and we have to focus on specifically a certain um, area of expertise, we'll call it.
Business style, yeah, like a business, like
Yeah.
what you're shooting to do, what you're shooting to weld, what are you doing for people? Yeah, what are you
Right.
advertising?
And the one thing to keep in mind too, when you're looking at doing stuff on your own for business, that does not mean you have to stick with it 100% of the time, all the time. That just means that maybe you go this way, either you have the most experience in it, or it's something that interests you the most, or it's just the tools that you have. So, who wants to get started with their business pitch?
First, I'm okay with
Oh,
it.
Dave's excited. All right, do better with
Yeah,
Dave. Let's
because I
go.
did slack on the other things, so I pick up on this.
Okay.
Dave's
All right.
safety corner is just me griping. That's
It's that old
all
man
right.
coming out.
So
Get off my
so
lawn.
I did send all these pics over, so these will be brought up hopefully. And so the first one is of the Miller-Matic Bobcat that I picked up, or that I didn't pick it up, but this is what I would buy. I like Miller to begin with, but these are good machines. This one was priced at a decent price, like $1,400.
Wait, hold on. What is your business pitch?
So mine
What's your
is
idea?
a literally a mobile shop, an enclosed mobile shop trailer, where I can do fence posts to going in and doing custom work on people's bikes in their shops, or rolling a bike right up into this thing and doing like a custom sissy bar on a bike, or because that's kind of stuff I like doing. But that would just be something you could do, go to somebody's house and go do their bass boat out in their driveway, stuff like that. That's what I think people would want. People want a mobile welder to come over and do it at a decent price.
I've had
I
this
want to
thought
have a
myself.
shop.
Yeah, I've had this thought myself. So you guys have seen my garage, right? At least pictures of it
I've
or
seen
videos of it.
I've seen the stuff in your garage. I don't think I've seen the actual garage itself.
No, you can't see much of the garage itself. There's just a bunch of stuff.
It's like
That's
Mike's
kind of why
garage and
my
my
thought was
garage.
instead of. Well, this is why I like this idea because instead of building a shop, I thought about getting a trailer and just building my shop in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking.
At least for
That's
what
my
I know.
whole
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm very
And
interested to see what you came up with.
it's not too bad. I mean, I think it's a reasonable pricing to do, to start a business. Because you got to think, if you're talking about starting a business, some people got to invest I mean, $500,000. There's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? There's real serious investment in overhead. So Miller Bobcat 250. I mean, this is a great welder. You can do stick, you can do TIG, you can get the wire set up and everything for it. You can do anything with it. You know what I mean? I would be doing mostly TIG or stick with it because it would probably be the easiest to maintain. Having a stock and stuff. But you can do anything. All right. So then I found my trailer. I found a 2009 Roadmaster enclosed work trailer for $4,000. It looks clean, nice looking trailer. It's a decent sized dual axle trailer, so it should be able to handle the weight of what I would think about putting in it. Let's see what else was on that picture.
What size trailer was it?
I'm gonna guess at least an 18 to 20 footer.
Okay,
looks like I don't know. I'm not a trailer. I'm not as I'm not.
All right, Mike, you're up.
Mike I can't see a picture.
Yeah, Mike, what is that? No.
What size? It was 22.5 feet, give or take 6 inches there. That's a 7,000 pound torsion beam. All right, I'm done.
But it's a pretty decent sized trailer. It looks like it's got to be at least 15 to 18 foot long. It's got to be maybe, I don't know, what's the basic width of an enclosed trailer? 10 foot?
7?
No, it's 102 is the max it can be, so like 7 something.
So I can lay down in it, but nonetheless, it's still big enough to do what I'm shooting for here. Let's see. I found I know it sounds silly, but I would have this in there. I found a small horizontal bandsaw. I found that was only like $300, which is a used one, but it's a really nice one because I'm a stickler for a bandsaw. I like bandsaws. I just think and I could wheel it out or do whatever I had to do. A couple small welding tables I saw. I probably would have a stationary one or one that would lift up in the trailer and like hook up to the wall. But I would probably buy one of these cheap metal ones to mutilate it because it's going to be cheaper than going out and actually buying, the stuff for the table. Yeah. So I found a $150 table, and I would probably go get that. I saw a used the Harbor Freight pin table that we were talking about. I found one of them for like $70. So I would probably have that too, so I could wheel that outside. Right on Facebook Marketplace. It was like $70-$80. I think that might have been in the stuff that. Might have been in the stuff that I sent. I found it in our last podcast. But nonetheless, I would get that table too. And I would probably wheel that outside to do outside work on. You know what I mean? I found gas bottles, $47 a piece, compressed gas bottles.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, go out, get them inspected and get them filled. So that's where I would have my gas. I found 12-speed stand-up drill press because I would have to have a drill press. That's like, mandatory.
Like a bench top?
Yeah, just like a bench top. And then found a couple of vices. The one was $40. I would get a little variety of vices. I did get pretty in-depth with tools, which we don't really have to, but let's see here. Let's see this trailer. It didn't tell me. I did get kind of crazy about the tools. I did show pictures, which you can show the pictures if you want. I mean, I found a bunch of, I went and bought a bunch of ball peen hammers. I think they were like $30 for a big set of ball peens. Some hand sledges. I found some vice grips and a bunch of different C clamps and welding clamps.
I got distracted. What is it?
Look, he's trying to get me started.
I saw food.
Wingstop.
I don't even know
What's
what
Wingstop
is.
Oh, you need to try Wingstop. It's a wing store.
I can't wait till Mike goes so I can ruin his presentation. Put some time in. So all right, so now we got to know, what does Mike eat at Wingstop? Because I'm sure all the fans have to know.
We got fries and wings.
All your followers.
Oh, we got some ranch. More ranch. We got ranch for days.
Oh my god.
What's in this?
What are you drinking? Some Diet Coke?
Oh, we got wings. Yeah.
Man, now I'm hungry again.
Yeah, this is only second dinner. Put the kids to bed and
second dinner. Second dinner.
I'm supposed to be on a diet.
Me too.
What's your diet? Wingstop?
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
You can be mean. I interrupted your thing. I'm sorry.
No,
I
I'm
feel
done
bad
anyway.
now.
I bought a bunch of useless tools. The business would have failed anyway. I made this
But all-
part my
I mean-
charm and nothing else.
I mean, all in all, I think that's a really good idea for somebody. Like I said, that might even be something that I end up doing here in the near future because I need somewhere to put my tools other than the garage.
Yeah, I mean, I was debating a full size used school bus. That was going to be my next pick. I was just going to get a an old school bus, which I've done that before. I work for a company that did mobile service, and the guy gave me a short school bus, and he told me, he said, make it into a service truck. So that's what I did.
That's awesome.
I ripped all the seats out, and I actually kept the seats because I wanted to get a projector. This is way long time ago, believe me, before you could buy a projector for under $2,000, $3,000 for outside. Because I wanted to put a projector outside and have all the school bus seats in my yard so I could sit out there and watch the movies outside and stuff.
Man, you were
Wouldn't that
really
be
showing
cool?
that redneck.
I have enough cars in my yard. We can sit in all them.
That would be cool too. Just
Everyone drive in without driving in.
drive over here and get in one of my cars and sit and watch it.
We'll pretend to drive in.
You know what? That's not a bad idea if you had all classic cars. Shells
Business
of old
idea.
classic cars. Dude,
All
that's
right, I'm
actually an
trademarking it.
amazing idea. Be able to go sit in a 57 Chevy Bel Air, you know what I mean,
Wait a
Shell, and watch a drive-in movie. Dude, that would be awesome.
I think
and then
the
you guys could
AACA
get your
Museum of
wives
Hershey
on
does
roller
something.
skates. Who does? Don't crush another of
The
my dreams,
AACA
you know?
Museum up in Hershey? I think
Well,
they
that's
do
cool.
something like that. It's inside. It's
That
not
would be
outside.
that would be a cool business thing, though. Like if
That
you
is
found
really
an old drive-through, and you're like, you know what? Let's find a bunch of old junkyard cars, redo just the interiors, sit them out there, and let people sit in them and watch freaking drive-through movie. That would be awesome.
That would be
Like a
pretty
drive-in
cool.
movie.
Please don't give him any more ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike's not
Mike
allowed to
doesn't
have
need any
more
more
business.
cars.
Exactly.
Do you guys have?
Did you hear?
Do you guys have
Wait,
license plates?
Melissa, did you hear
and
about our
now for your
idea with
business?
the S10?
No.
No,
Tough truck.
I didn't.
Tough truck.
Oh, down at the bar?
Yeah.
That sounds
That's an old
amazing.
school
Then you
square
can sit
body
We'll put our-
S10.
The question is, are we leaving the
First.
ladder rack on or taking it off?
No, you
Oh,
gotta
that
leave it
has
on.
to stay on. That's the
Well, I
danger
mean-
effect.
It may not stay on, but it's going to start with it on.
No, you know what you do? You make that ladder rack into one of them roll things. So if it rolls over,
Oh,
it'll just roll right back on its. Oh my God!
That is a great
Yeah,
idea.
Give a bunch of welders a tough truck car to do. Oh, that'd be
Gosh.
Especially
awesome.
an Iron Duke S10.
Mm-hmm.
You can make anything out of them.
It would probably. It
That
would
doesn't
probably
have the
just-
Iron Duke 4 back. It's got the V6.
No, it's got the crazy spider 2.8 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's the intake manifold that looks all wonky and weird.
Yeah. Well,
The
it's
one
got
that came out of the
oh,
Fiero.
it's got this like single fuel injector that goes out into all these little spider things. They call it the spider. I don't know. But anyway,
S10s, they're notorious.
then the regulator underneath the intake
That's
too.
why it works great as a tough truck. It just got to work good once. Or twice.
You could easily throw a Chevy 350 in it and make it a.
Oh,
serious,
yeah. They make kits for
serious-
that.
They do.
All
they
right,
do.
Mike, what do you have for your business idea?
So, I was
Swamp people
Here we go.
welding.
So, the last welding guy I did work for was a mobile welder, and he had this mobile workstation, similar to what Dave's talking about, but he kind of went a little farther with it. He had his entire roof was solar panels, and it had batteries under the floor. So like it was wild the way it would all run. But so I came up with. I didn't realize I'd be looking this up as we go. I thought you would be putting it up on screen. I apologize. But
I'm going to put it up on screen in the edit.
what was that?
I'm going to put it up on screen in the edit.
Yep, I get that. So this guy. Anyway, I found a Ranger 250 for $800. Okay.
All right.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
it's old enough of a Lincoln that it actually might still run.
That
Then,
wasn't nice.
sorry,
Oh,
my
that
bad.
yeah. I mean, that was a stab. That was a straight
And then,
licking.
and then I found a Yes Welder Fitra CT 2050. The whole kit. Somebody's selling it used for 1,300. So being able to hook that up and do the TIG, MIG, everything. Hobart
Yeah.
Plasma Cutter Air Force that's got the air compressor built in, and
Yeah, because no
um,
one wants to listen to an air compressor.
yeah,
No.
agreed. Um, and then I kind of went with the same design Dave did, but a little bit smaller. I picked out an enclosed trailer, dual axle 7x12. Um, I didn't know that's what you picked. Okay, I found a workbench with a vise and
He got the
a
key to
bench
my shop.
grinder
He
on it.
probably has a code to my phone too. He already knows what's going on.
Hey,
Or he's
I,
or he's watching my Facebook Marketplace history, and he's like, "Oh, look, I see what he's looking at."
He's got all of us pinned down. Are you kidding me? He intercepts our transmissions.
I have to say, I was at Dave's shop the other night stealing a bottle of gas, and I
I
might have
bet you were.
seen where he's at with his go kart build
Same place he was
firsthand.
at when he's on this.
All right, so it's got a bench grinder on it too, and then I found a Wen 10-inch drill press, bench top drill press. I was kind of thinking, I was thinking about the idea that how my previous boss had everything set up, and I was also thinking about my recent trip 8 9 months ago to West Virginia in order to fix a trailer for the trailer business, and thinking about what welding tools and all would be ideal to have out there on the road to fix it, to be able to fix a trailer. And it could stem from car trailer like I was fixing at the time to a lot of times when I was working for the welder, we would go and get calls to weigh stations to fix tractor trailers. A lot of times the trailers that haul cars, those things are notorious for cracking. So
Yeah,
we would go there and fix those. What was that?
I believe that.
So we would go there and fix those. So those, and then the other thing that I did a lot of was the handrail gig. I thought about a pipe bender, but I couldn't find anything that reasonable enough. And plus, a pipe bender would have to be something you have to be able to bring outside the trailer, because if you're doing handrails like we were, typically they're 20 to 30 feet long, and you're not bending those inside of a small trailer. So, but just things of that nature. I remember the video you posted when you went and fixed somebody's handrail, and I thought about it, without plugging into anybody's anything, what might I need along that route to do that. So I didn't get into as much detail as Dave did with the tools, but that was my thought process. Kind of the same line, I guess, but just
Okay.
thinking more of the repair of trailers thing.
I
that's
figured
actually
you would go
yeah.
that route. That would make sense for you.
I used to work on those the car haulers. So you're talking about the car haulers,
Yeah,
tractor
yeah,
trailer. Yeah, I used
yes.
to work on them, and yeah, those are very sketchy trailers. If you ever
Oh, yeah,
watch
they
them go
are.
down the road, they are. And I see how they're put together, and I understand the concept of it and all. But I can tell you that if they are not maintained, it's not a trailer you want to be riding next to on 95. I'm
I can
surprised you don't hear
imagine.
more because I've been under them and in them, and I've seen them how they crack and like he's saying, they don't find out until it's too late, or because nobody looks at it. Drivers don't. Lots of drivers, not all drivers. Lots of drivers don't look over their vehicles the way they should. Tractor.
I believe
Yeah, I
that.
could definitely see. I could
That's a little
definitely see them
scary,
making a business out of just doing trailer repair. I can definitely see that when they put
especially around
bridges.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
you
There's
hit the
lots
right
of them
area
in
where you're
bridges.
got. Well, especially where you got interstate intersections. Like we got 476, 276, 95. We got Northeast Extension interchange right there. We got going to New Jersey and all that. Perfect place.
Well, when I was working for the guy I worked for, it was a small company, and I remember a lot of times on a Friday night we get a call from a truck driver that was put out of service at a rest, or not a rest stop, but a way station,
DOT, yeah, DOT stop.
and
Somebody should
literally
just get
we
a
could name
mobile
an
welding unit and just park there.
we could name an FU price and they were sorry for the FU response, but and they would pay it. I mean,
they have to. They gotta get their load moving.
I mean, I remember one night, literally, he asked me, he's like, "What do you think we should charge?" Because we didn't feel like going out. It was a nasty night. And I said some absurd rate that was like $60 above our normal hourly rate. And he called him back and he said, "Okay, it's going to be X amount, 4 hour minimum, and we can't be there for another 4 hours." And the guy like instantly sent us a credit card to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Wow!" And I mean, we got there and like, what was that?
Oh no, I was going to comment about how he said that people should just put a rig together and sit out there. When I did mobile truck repair,
mm-hmm.
that's what I did. Like they'd have me up in a certain area, and he'd be like, "Yeah, just go drive over by the, go hang out on the turnpike by that truck stop up there. There's always people up there. DOT's out there right now." Or if I went to like a spot and it was being DOT'd and on the turnpike, my boss would be like, just hang out, because they're going to start running up to you to do repairs. And that's what would happen. Yeah, guys would run up to me and be like, "Yo, man, can you fix a radiator hose? Can you do this? Can you do that?" But yeah, let's do it. I got some duct tape. Let's do this. Look at Mike. Oh my God, Mike, you just couldn't wait. You couldn't control yourself, right? Dropping it all over yourself. You could have turned the camera away. You could have did anything.
Man, I got it. You're making me
hungry.
hungry.
No, man. It's like you never ate. Do you think that's how I ate my rice and chicken and broccoli tonight?
I've seen you with some rice hanging in the beard.
Probably have. I think, dude, I've been letting this mustache go, and it is ridiculous. I mean, I am ready to shave this thing down to like
get some handlebars going.
Dude, I can. You can't tell, but that's what all this is handlebars.
Hell yeah, get the curl it up.
Nah, I'm not that guy.
Show off a little bit. I think Beth would like it.
No.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Now
I need to get another Sunny D. I'll be listening, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And I can hear you guys when I walk away.
I believe you.
I'm gonna get some more chicken wings over myself.
All right. Well, I had an idea. Right now, originally, I've had this thing in my head where one thing that I've always wanted to do is I wanted to get a mobile setup so I could go and do like drag and drive events and the Reading Hill climb and do all that and sit there and have like emergency weld work. But I didn't do that because I knew you guys were doing the trailer stuff. So to better explain this, because this is kind of an avenue that may not be taken very often and stuff that people don't know about. After I got done traveling for pipe welding, I came back to work for a natural gas company. It was doing welding for distribution and house services for natural gas lines. So I was a pipe welder for the gas company, putting in gas services for the houses and also making emergency repairs and doing all that stuff. Come to find out that it is relatively simple to get qualified to become a welder for these gas companies as a distribution welder to put services in. And it's also very lucrative. You've got to be a good welder to do it. You got to pass the weld test, obviously. But it's a very lucrative option. You can make a lot of money doing this. And as a matter of fact, I know a lot of guys that did this. And the one problem that they had is that they all drove those pipeline rigs that are double axle, 8 feet wide, can't go down a narrow street. So in the city of Lancaster, when we have to go down a one-way street, we didn't have anybody that could go. We would have to unbolt our welding machine from the truck and have the excavator, the Mini X, carry the welder with the welding leads down. So that's the basis for my plan. So I came up with a pipe service truck. This is a good service truck for pipe welders that can weld in tight areas and at a moment's notice, because a lot of things I did was emergency service work for natural gas and all that stuff. So you can use this for gas service lines, water lines, sewers, breweries, restaurants, propane tank service, like residential stuff, water irrigation, fire suppression systems that are done in buildings and around parking garages now.
Why do I see
stuff
a side-by-side coming up?
What?
I see a side-by-side coming up.
I think he's using a Suzuki Samurai.
Oh God.
No. I saw that picture. I thought that was genius. A little crazy.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
genius.
so I have had this idea in my head ever since I started pipelining that I wanted to build a Chevy S10 manual transmission, regular cab, two-wheel drive, slammed on the ground welding truck.
I know where there's a truck sitting.
Yeah, me too. That's kind of why I texted you. But well, I'm gonna send. I just reworked all of this about an hour before we started because I came across a truck on Facebook Marketplace and I had to rework this entire plan. But it's worth it. I'm gonna send you guys the truck without saying anything first. What you think?
Oh boy.
Dave's over there watering his plants like an old man.
Well, it took you a half hour to send me a freaking text.
It's a diesel.
It is.
You know, and I almost said, better not be a fucking Ford Ranger.
It sure is. It is a
Ranger.
It is a 2007 Ford Ranger FX4 with a utility bed.
Jetta engine?
With a Jetta TDI and a 41-gallon diesel tank.
That thing's gonna go for like a whole week on that gas.
Yeah, 1,500. He says about 1,500 miles, which I think he's about right.
Stop saying gas because it's not.
And it's a 5-speed manual, so that gets me excited.
Diesel,
but I'm going to get down to the basis of it. What?
I said stop saying gas is not gas. It's diesel. Diesel mechanics don't like hearing that.
Yeah,
It's got a Power Stroke battery, yeah.
That little car mechanic over here getting excited.
Great, that's the only thing that's going to break.
This guy getting excited about a Volkswagen engine. And look, it's hokey as hell. Why's he got the filters about 3 inches off the ground? What are you going to do with that thing?
So everybody can see them, so everybody knows it's a diesel.
It's got a VW cooling system.
All right.
I mean, it is cool.
So
I'm not going to lie.
So now the reason why I picked that is because, like I said, when we're doing natural gas distribution work, it's all in cities and suburb areas. These F-350s, GMC Denali 3500s, they don't fit down these streets, especially when there's cars parked on the sides. Trust me, I know. I've hit a couple. Okay.
Look, Mike's trying to make bids on it.
Yeah, he's like, hey, will you take 10?
You got him into what is that called? What is it, a wormhole or a rabbit hole or what? When you're
rabbit hole.
He'll take 9,500, okay?
He can't even listen.
Is that what it says?
He's like,
no.
Don't get me excited. Dude, I will sell my Colorado right now for that.
He said, I asked him if he wanted to trade for a diesel.
For a Dodge Nitro.
Hey, I just got Nitro Nation back on the road.
Dodge Nitro, an Excursion, and a crotch rocket.
So, this truck has,
Nation.
in my opinion, everything you need for the basics to get started on a welding rig that can do this stuff. It's small. It's narrow. What?
I don't want to burst your bubble here, but the second you put a generator welder in the back, thing's going to be freaking scraping.
That's where you're wrong.
You see the filter shot?
That's where you're wrong.
Franchetti would lift it up or dig. He goes, no one said I couldn't make it high.
That's right. We're putting a 17-inch lift on this fucking thing.
Jesus.
I would think you would have
I wasn't making it wider. I'm just making it taller.
I'm looking at it, and them filters are almost rubbing the ground just there.
Look, those are minor issues, okay? We can fix that. I don't have to leave them there.
He said we. This guy got mouses.
We being the two mechanics and the one.
You guys want to go into a business with me? Where you do
you guys are the well-accomplished mechanics, and I'm over here like, I can put metal together. Anyways, so that truck's about $14,500. We'll just go with that. Now, I think it's worth it because of the utility bed on it and the fact that he refinished the frame, and it looks like he did really good work to this thing.
And it's got a diesel.
What year is it?
It's a 2007. So it's not, for what it is, I don't think it's that bad. But that's just the idea of it as a mid-sized truck. Fight me.
It just sounds crazy.
It is crazy. That's
coming out of that little Volkswagen motor.
Yeah, I don't care how much torque's coming out of the diesel motor. I'm going down city streets, man. I ain't going down the highway.
It's like putting a Briggs and Stratton on a, on
Don't
something that's
crush my
falling more weight
dreams.
than should actually be on. No, it's awesome, man. I hope you get it. I hope your wife
All right.
lets you buy it.
No.
You're right. I'm sorry.
No.
It shouldn't be that way. I'm nasty today. I've been mean today.
Well, just hear me out on the idea. Okay, I'm allowed to dream, but for that truck's got a utility bed, so I don't have to worry about
mine. That's all.
Yeah, all right. 14,500. It's got the utility bed on it, so I got all them toolboxes to play with and put things in. Now, I am a proponent of buying a new welding machine for work like this because you get the 3-year warranty, and Lincoln's 3-year warranty, I promise you, is one of the best I've ever had. Let me tell you a quick little story. Mike, do not get the pillow out. It'll be quick.
I was going to start watering my plants. I was going to get up and start watering my plants.
All right, so I was doing a project that was up in the center of Pennsylvania, and my Lincoln welding machine stopped welding. Okay, so I called Lincoln and I said, hey, I had a brand new at the time SAE 300 that stopped working, and I told him, I said, I need to get this job done. I need help. And they literally said, we'll grab one of our spare machines. We'll meet you there if you can wait about 6 to 8 hours. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's the end of the day. They were there the next morning with a 300 MP on a trailer, hooked it up to my truck, pulled my welder off of my truck, took it back to Ohio to service it. I kept the MP to finish the job for a week, and without missing a beat, they brought the machine back, reinstalled it for me, and I was never out of it.
That's awesome. That's the way it should be. I mean, because you're not spending 50 cents for one of them things,
No, that was a brand new machine.
Can I use that story tomorrow?
Yes.
Because at my work, I might be having a certain Lincoln Rails sales rep coming in, certain person I need to have hard conversations with him.
No, yeah, I literally called them over in Ohio, and I was like, help me. And they're like, we'll be right there. And they were right there. I mean, they went from Ohio to center Pennsylvania in 6.5 hours. That's as fast as it takes them to drive there. So they were on it. So I can't complain about that at all. Dave? So I looked up a Lincoln. Do you guys know what a Lincoln Eagle is?
No, but I can look it up. I think one of the flying squirrels that are in my attic got down in the house. I can hear something in my house. I live alone. I know when I hear something in the house, and I know.
I live alone. I know when there's legs running around here.
Yeah. No, Hear that? I actually think I got a raccoon up there in the attic at this point because something's really noisy up there. Hear that? Probably or I got like some refugees hiding up. Please don't edit that out.
I'm not going. I'm leaving that in. All right. So I looked up a Lincoln Eagle. Brand new Lincoln Eagle. Yes. Manufacturing warranty. It's a multi-process machine, very similar to the Lincoln Ranger or the Miller Bobcat. 25 or 250 amps, 1,000-watt generator. Yeah, it's like $5,600, and it comes with stick welding leads with it. Yeah, they're nice machines.
And you can get it at me and Mike's favorite place, where me and Mike like to run into each other.
Tractor Supply?
Yep. Tractor Supply.
Yeah. So that's probably what I get. They're $5,600. The brand new machine. It weighs 375 pounds. So it's not going to make the Ranger scrape. The rest of my tools might, but the welder won't. But
that's awesome.
about $2,000, a little over $20,000. You've got a truck and a welding machine in the back of it. And now you also need.
You can easily make payments of $167 a month for 30
Don't tell him
months,
that. Don't tell him that.
Mike, you could have this right now with your unbelievably great credit. You just got married. Your credit probably went up.
Well, the other thing that I would get too for this line of work is a DeWalt 6-inch grinder with a trigger. So they're a little expensive. They're close to $200. I found one for $189, and then I will also get 2 4.5-inch DeWalt grinders with a paddle. Okay, they're like $75 now. Then of course you got hand tools, you got levels, angle finders, plumb bobs, tape measure, lineup clamps, 2-hole pins, right? Basically pretty basic pipe welding tools. The one things that I want to mention in there is a UT thickness gauge, ultrasound thickness gauge. We use those gauges to check the wall thickness of pipe before we weld on them, because these are live gas lines that we're welding on. So we need to make sure that they are thick enough and sound enough for us to weld on them. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take a UT gauge. They're not terribly expensive. They're about $200. And we'll put it on the wall, the pipe, and it'll tell us how thick the wall thickness is to make sure that we can weld on it. And make sure there's no laminations or anything crazy going on. The other thing is for this type of work, I would recommend getting at least a 4 gas meter. Now they get expensive, but they are worth it because they keep your life safe, especially when you're in a ditch. So when you're in a ditch working with flammable fuels, you need to know when that flammable gas is filling the hole up, if it is, because it's odorless. There's no odor in it yet. So, 4 gas meter, they $300-400. They get kind of expensive. Oxy-fuel setup.
Use a canary.
They used to use them in the coal. Oxy-fuel setup, $500, give or take. I found quite a few of them that you can get. Soapstone, marking utensils. The other thing is a grasshopper. A grasshopper is a tool where you hook your ground to, and it has a little copper prong on it that touches the pipe, and that's what grounds the pipe off, because you can't clamp it on the end because there's no end to the pipe. So the grasshopper is a copper end. I don't like when people make them, because some people make them out of like a file material. And when you use a file, what'll happen is it'll create an arc strike on that pipe. And if the inspector sees it, you're done. So either buy one or have a copper end when you make one.
Okay, guys, stop. I'm feeling really retarded. I'm looking.
Oh, come on. We don't use that word. That's not a nice word.
Sorry. I'm looking all over for this Lincoln Eagle. The only Lincoln Eagle I'm coming up with is a Lincoln Eagle 10,000 plus.
The one in Tractor Supply.
For $5,600?
Yeah, that's what we said. That's what we were talking about.
Is there a problem?
What?
Is there a problem?
Hang on. This guy. No, we're good. It's a little heavier than you're saying, but it's okay. Other than that,
how heavy does it say? I thought it was 375.
514.
Nah, whatever. That's probably wet weight.
Oh my God, Mike. You're right, Mike. You're right.
No, I'm not. Right. But I thought he said it was comparable to the C25. So I was lost.
It is. It is. It's comparable to the Miller Bobcat. The only difference is it's a multi-process unit, not just a stick weight.
Gotcha.
Mine was a multi-process.
Well, you're special.
I just got an old welder.
5,000 pounds because I like big, heavy shit. Sorry.
Well, I'm trying to stay small and nimble.
I took a nap today to try to be happier, and it made me actually more.
I thought you said you hate naps.
You seem pretty happy.
I do. I hate naps, but I was so tired today. Just tired. Just old.
Frustrated. All right. So the other thing you need for this, you need a weed burner torch with a 20-pound propane tank.
Mike don't
pipe
need no
stands
weed
or
burner.
jack
He
stand.
can't even realize what's going on.
Wow.
And of course, you got grinding wheels, wire wheels, flap discs, consumables. The other thing is die grinder with the carbide bits. They get important, especially when you're doing threadlets and weldlets and stuff like that. Now, the one thing that I did want to mention, I have a special note here for welding rods. When it comes to this type of work, let the company that you're contracting for tell you what welding rods to get, because there are only certain rods that you're allowed to use depending on the welding procedure, depending on the approved manufacturer, depending on the approved type, and all that stuff. So just wait till they tell you which ones to get. And usually, they'll just give you some. They're not going to make you go get them.
Do you have to put a like a little rod oven? Do you have little mobile rod ovens? You gotta get one.
Yes, I had it. So that was the other thing I had on my list was a 10-pound rod oven for the 7018. I would highly, highly recommend, because the other thing you're going to do is you're just going to keep opening new cans every time. And then when you put a service tee on, honest to God, a welding service tee, a 3/4 inch service tee for an average house service takes about 4 to 5 332 7018 rods to put on. And I know guys that didn't have welding rod ovens in their truck, and they would just have to chuck a full 10-pound can minus 4 or 5 welding rods because they couldn't save them. I don't care if it's your money or not. That is a huge waste. Just get a rod oven, for the love of God. They're not that expensive.
Shit. We're all
And
fabricators and stuff. You should be able to make your own rod oven. It's not that difficult.
Actually, it really isn't. I should do a video on how to
Little bit
make
of-
one. They're not that bad.
Yeah, we should. We should
We
all
should
get
do
together
that.
and make something for once.
We should. Maybe when
Do it
I'm
in my
done,
shop, I don't care.
we should. But yeah, you can literally make a rod oven out of an old fridge and one of the heat lamps for chickens.
Okay.
I saw Mike's face drop. Like, what the fuck did he just say?
I was thinking like,
Well, I have a
I was
spare heat
thinking-
lamp for chickens,
There you go.
So-
Do you have a spare fridge?
Got that
more
covered.
Just,
and I'm sure
I was thinking
somewhere.
mini
more
fridge.
just fireplace brick or something, and like a basic.
Oh, no, I mean like the little mini fridges you used to get for college kids.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Or Mike's Easy Bake Oven.
Or yeah,
Do you know they
For the real
don't
oven.
work with LED bulbs? Just saying.
no kidding.
Yeah, ideally, why could you not make an oven? I don't think it's as much that you have to have the heat. You just have to have the moisture, right? Why
You do
couldn't
have to
make it
keep
one-
the heat up to a certain temperature, but honestly, those heat
You
lamp
could do it with
bulbs,
heat bulbs.
yes, you can. I do it.
That'd be easy.
You just gotta put a
Take
little
your
temp gauge in
78
there and show them that it's the right temperature. That's all. About 200
Just
degrees.
take your
Might have a built-in
7018,
temp.
wrap it up in some aluminum foil like a baked potato, put it in the oven.
Put it on the engine.
Or put it on the catalytic converter.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
was gonna say put it on the engine.
Or the header or the manifold. But yeah. All said and done, that whole setup to get started is like roughly 30,000, and that's on the higher end. You could really cheap out on that stuff, and honestly, I think you could build a rig for about half that with all those
Price of a
tools.
new Ranger.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, but that's my idea. That's another avenue. And if somebody wanted to get into that line of work where they're doing service tees, you just got to get friendly with your service workers at your local gas company.
So here's another business idea that we could throw
All right,
out to everybody.
Yeah.
Why not just have a company that has a good fabricator, a good welder, and maybe 2 good mechanics, and start putting rigs together and selling rigs?
There's a couple. I know a couple companies that do
I'm not
that. I
saying
don't
there
know.
isn't any. I'm just saying
No, it's a great idea.
that would be a great startup company somewhere.
Custom
And
built
then you could
rigs?
be stationary. You'd be stationary.
We should.
You
Why
could
don't?
have-
Why
I was
don't
gonna
we
say,
do?
we'd
Oh, I
stay
know why we don't do
fabricated
that.
then.
'Cause I'm not home.
Yeah. Well, because you're out making money. We're just here dying.
Yeah, that's dependent on it.
He's having kids. I guess I'm just here dying. I point at this guy.
I'm thinking of buying a VTX 1300. What do you think of that?
Oh, they're really nice bikes.
I found
You
with
should
a
get the
bat wing
18.
and all.
That'd be
You
nice.
should get me to get one.
He should see if he can find the VTX 1800. Those things are quick.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, I bet 1800.
Yeah, they're quick and they're quiet. Well, the used ones aren't quiet because everybody takes the baffles out. They're loud. But
What? Why would somebody do that?
What size is the engine on your whatchamacallit, whatever it is, your bike?
Victory?
Your
Oh,
big
mine?
bike. There we go.
I don't have to do the math. 106 cubic inches,
Okay.
which is 1739 cc.
What?
39. Yeah, I think so. Let's find out.
Would you have that thing
no, I
worked?
don't- What?
Would you have that thing like
It's
worked?
1737 cc's.
Is that what it
not
was
bad.
stock? I didn't know.
And
that.
it's a 6-speed. Well, my hammer was 100 cubic inches, and then I stroked it out to a 107, and then I made it pretty much undrivable at anything below 30 miles an hour. Yeah.
Wow.
My
So
wife
this-
loved and hated that bike all at the same time.
So this is your second victory.
Yes,
What
technically.
did you look at? Was there something down there that told you that it was your second victory?
Fingers. I've had a couple bikes. I've had quite a few. Not gonna lie.
What's
I've
the
had a
most
couple.
What's the most exciting bike you ever had?
My hammer, hands down.
What's the
So-
shittiest bike you've ever had?
My hammer, hands
My
down.
hammer stands down. I knew that was coming.
And I did it to myself. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first bought that bike, that thing was beautiful and pristine. I put 30,000 miles on it, and I bought it used. And then I tore the engine down, and then I rebuilt it, and then I tore the engine down, and then I rebuilt it again, and then I took it to the drag strip, and it ran a 10.2 at 126 miles an hour. And it was beating most 600 and 750cc sport bikes at the time, and it would run with the leader bikes, but it wouldn't, leader bikes are a whole different.
Yeah.
But I have a funny story behind that. My first bike was a Kawasaki Ninja 750 from like 1999. And it was, it was a sport bike, so they were kind of quick. My mom wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks. I lived in her house. She would not even look at me for 2 weeks. So I had that bike for about a year, and then I got rid of it, and then I bought the Hammer. And she saw the bike. She's like, "Oh, thank God you got rid of that. I feel so much better with you on that bike." I was like, "Mom, this bike's faster." And she's like, "I don't care. It's just the image." I was like, "You have no idea what you're talking about." But I mean, my Ninja was, quick for what it was, but the Hammer was really freaking fast. And I had a back seal on it, but my wife did not.
Yeah.
Anything below 30 miles an hour, that throttle was an on-off switch. So I'd get from a stop sign and I'd try to keep it at 20, 25 going through town. And I would kind of like, once we get past 25, I would try to speed up to get to like 50 if we can come out of like Christiana. And it would just chirp that rear tire. The rear tire is 11 inches wide. And it would just spin the rear tire and jerk around. She hated that bike. She loved it and hated it at the same time. I love that thing though. There are so many times that I've looked at that and I'm like, I wish I didn't sell it. But it was unrideable. I mean, I got it to the point where unless I was really getting on it, it was pretty much unrideable.
I've been doing trial runs like every other day. I'm going out and like riding for an hour at a time or an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I'm trying to get because I'm riding that bobber, man. This is not gonna be
It hurt.
Yeah, I'll be eating.
In my Magnet that I have now, I could ride that thing for hours. It'll just cruise. It ain't near as fast as any bike I've ever had, but that's okay. You kind of grow out of it after a while. Well, I shouldn't say that because, in all honesty, if I look back, I'm like, I want that Hammer back.
For what it is,
my bikes, but
I was gonna say, for what it is, your Indian rolls pretty good.
It does. I think it.
Oh yeah, I bet it does.
My size helps too.
Yeah.
Being a small guy.
120 pounds.
Yeah, I'd probably slow that thing down a little bit.
That thing's fun. I like it.
Well, I guess that concludes this episode of Ark of the Covenant podcast. I hope that everybody at least found some sort of useful information on this one. A little bit out of pocket today, but that's okay. That's what makes it fun.
That's pretty much what we do.
I got more wings.
Yeah, that's part of it. You got more wings?
I bet you do.
Want some wings, Robinson? I'll bring them over.
Hey, did you know Red Bull gives you wings? Well, at least they used to.
Do you want me to bring over some wings, Robinson?
It gives me dehydration. No, I'm going to go eat some carrots and, apparently I don't have to go to bed, so I might sit up and play some COD with my son. He said he was going to be on time. I don't have to get up early now. And I slept all afternoon because I was mad at the world.
We all have those days.
No, I had a headache. Cool.
Well,
yay.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hopefully you found some good information. Tune in the next 2 weeks where we'll have another episode. We should be able to get on a little bit more of a constant schedule now that we've gotten past our blunders.
It was fun.
Start bringing more people in.
Yeah, we'll get at least 2 more. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, no, I didn't want to leave.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay, I stopped it.
No,